What? What is all that craziness? Oh. Hey friends, welcome to a vlog. We're starting this in the evening. You're gonna hear the hatch machine in the background. It is, what time is it? Almost 7:45. Hi. What's that? Who is it? 7:45, so we came back here and we watched the sun go down out of the window for a little bit. It's kind of like what we do, hang out before bed. He is gonna be 8 weeks old. 8 weeks old on Thursday. Yeah. He's currently going through a growth spurt, so that's been fun to navigate. How are you guys? I'm no longer breastfeeding. We'll talk about it. Wednesday. What do you do on Wednesdays at school?
Yes.
I know, yes. What do you do?
An art.
Art day? You eating tortilla chips for a little snack? What kind of hairstyle do you want this morning?
Mommy's bun.
Do our bun tutorial.
Bun tutorial.
Hold on. Let me get the other hair tie. Stay right here. Who do you look like?
Mommy.
It's time to go, sister.
It's time to go.
Show me your outfit of the day. Looking cute.
Looking cute.
Can you please get your backpack so we can get going? All right. I'm not carrying it. It's all you, girl.
I'm not carrying it.
Say bye, Dad. Bye, brother.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad. Looks like it's gonna rain.
It looks like it's gonna rain? Why does it look like it's gonna rain?
It looks like it's gonna rain.
But why?
It's gonna rain.
Are the clouds gray?
Rain.
Okay. Oh, Mommy's car's wet. It might rain. All right, now, unbuckle. It's a great day to have a great day. But first, I need to clean out my car because John is taking it to get an oil change and I need to act like it is not a rolling dumpster. Starbucks, beef jerky, and Chick-fil-A. It's fine. That's totally normal. Pedicure thing, love that. Okay. Oh, Starbucks. Get it, buddy. Yeah. Kick it. Kick it. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. And so happy. Yeah, you're such a happy boy. Kick it. Kick it. He does this one leg to get one of these to jingle. Go for it. Go for it. You can do it. Nice. Nice. You did it. It jingled. The little guy is happy as a clam in a swing. He loves it. Loves it. And he likes the things above it. Don't you love your swing? He really loves it. Get it, bud? Okay, so let's talk about the thing that I've been saying let's talk about through this whole video. I am no longer breastfeeding. And I'm okay with it. I should start off by saying that. I'm okay with not breastfeeding anymore. If you're new here, I don't know why I sound like this. If you're new here, I had my son Everett 8 weeks ago. It'll be 8 weeks on Thursday. And I had a scheduled C-section, my second C-section. My first C-section with my daughter 8 years ago went perfectly. I healed perfectly, and truly, I had no idea what I was in store for when I had my second C-section because it went so smooth. I felt great in the hospital. He latched immediately in recovery, I mean immediately, and had a great latch and fed on me, exclusively on me for the first 6 days of his life. I was exclusively breastfeeding. That means no bottles, no pumps, no nothing. That quickly turned when I got a life-threatening, and I'm not saying that lightly, it was life-threatening infection, a post-op infection. It was horrendous. I had to call 911. My C-section scar split open. It was one of the most awful things I've ever been through in my life. So that's when I turned to pumping, because I had to start going to the hospital and the doctors and all of those things. Loads of antibiotic, which were safe for breastfeeding. They made sure of that. A really, really, really difficult and hard and awful recovery. And at that point, it was hard for him to latch because he was taking a bottle of pumped milk, and a bottle is just faster. I still nursed him, obviously, and I have put, I can even say hundreds of hours, dollars, all of my time. I put hundreds of hours and money into breastfeeding. I never had a good supply to begin with. He would have to nurse on me for over an hour on both sides. Not an hour on both sides, but like an hour total between both. Maybe an hour and a half sometimes, just depending. I never got a full supply in. I do have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I don't know if that contributes to me not producing a lot of milk. But I had gone through a lot of trauma physically, which I think stopped my milk supply from really going full on. I did pump 6 times a day, and I was maybe getting 3.5, 4 ounces every time I pumped, and that's a lot of work, and pumping was hours. I found a manual pump worked better, so I was manually pumping, and then I tried power pumping, which if you don't know what that is, it's like every 2 hours you pump. So I was waking up myself at night to pump to feed him, and he still was needing to be supplemented with formula. He was also jaundiced, and the formula really did help with the jaundice to push it all out. It just got, I don't know, I don't know what it was. 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 I don't know to be. The juice was not worth the squeeze. And to be quite honest with you, like, the boy doesn't care. And I call him the boy because he's my boy. He just doesn't care where his milk comes from. Isn't that funny? Like, our kids don't care what they drink. They just want to eat. So he was getting way more formula than milk. I was still pumping. I have a tiny little freezer stash now, which I'll show you guys, but I was consumed with breastfeeding because I felt like I knew it was super important to me. I wanted to breastfeed him because I tried really hard with Ella, and I stopped with her a few days in. It just was a lot. So I did a lot of research. I've tried everything. I've tried lactation cookies, lactation brownies. I've tried fennel. I've tried drinking a Guinness beer. I tried drinking tons of water, coconut water, body armor drinks. I have bought portable pumps, different kinds of pumps. I got pumps from my insurance company. I got manual pumps. I have tried every single thing that I'm willing to try. I'm sure I haven't tried everything because there's always somebody who has something to share that helped them breastfeed. It just was too much for me, and it started to really wear me down mentally because I'm up every 2 hours pumping to get 2 ounces of milk, and it's a lot. And he was nursing and he was so frustrated because he wasn't getting enough, and he's a big boy. He was born 8 pounds 15 ounces. I mean, he wants food, and naturally I wanted to be able to give that to him, and I was. And I'm so proud of myself that I was able to breastfeed him for 6 weeks, 6.5 almost. I'm proud. We had him checked for a lip tie and a tongue tie and a cheek tie twice by 2 different lactation consultants. I had an appointment with a lactation consultant. I had the lactation consultant in my hospital. I've tried everything, and I've been getting a lot of comments like, oh, the caffeine's keeping him up. Have you tried not dairy? Because he had gas, and all babies, truly all babies at some point have gas because their digestion, their stomachs don't know how to work. So it's trying to figure it out along the way. We have found that these Dr. Brown's bottles have done really well, and he's on the Gentilese Infamil formula, which also has been really great for him. So about a week and a half ago, I said, I can't, this is starting to where it's starting to make me feel awful, and it just was awful for me. And nursing him was the most magical experience ever. I have tons of videos, and I took pictures every time I nursed him for me, not for like the internet, just so I would have those memories. And I don't regret one single second of nursing him. It was magic. When especially those first 5 days before I got the infection, I felt so powerful, and like, I'm doing this for him, but at the same time I could have given him a bottle and bonded the same way too. And I just want to share my experience because there's so much, I think, not necessarily said out loud, but there's a lot of shame in not breastfeeding, and an awful feeling if you just can't produce the milk. I mean, some people just don't produce enough, and that's just a fact. I mean, it just is what it is. And I can't do it to myself anymore. So I built a freezer stash. I have a really good amount in the deep freezer, and then I have some in this freezer. So I have them because in my mind, I worked really, really, really hard to build that freezer stash too, because I wasn't making enough milk to have a freezer stash by any means. So I knew that this wasn't gonna last a long time, so I really worked towards that, and I built a freezer stash for if Ella comes home sick. So Ella had a fever a couple weeks ago for a day. I gave him breast milk all day because it has really good antibodies and it helps your immune system. And that to me is like, I'm keeping that for like, if he gets sick, if I get sick, if John gets sick, if Ella gets sick, I'll feel somehow better. Not saying he won't get sick because he has breast milk, but it'll just make me feel like I'm giving him something that'll help him a little bit more. So I did do that for him, and I did it for myself more than anything, I think, because truly he's so happy. He's fed, he's happy, he's taken care of. Now the gas has gone away because of these bottles, and that's been wonderful. He is thriving regardless of being on my boob. And I think sometimes the comments, like, they're like, well, the reason he's not sleeping is because you're drinking caffeine. It's like, no, Susan, it's because he's got gas and he's on formula. So it's not my boobs that are causing this. It's just such a shameful, hard thing to admit, because I know I didn't fail I know my body didn't fail me. What? Oh no. None of that. None of that. I don't want none of that. Oh. You're such a smart, sweet boy. He's growing great. I don't know necessarily what I was saying other than I was embarrassed that my body wasn't doing what it needed to do, and truly I just needed to heal myself and feed him and just make sure that he was getting fed in any way that he could, because that was what was most important. And now he's on formula and he's thriving. He's doing great. And it's 2021. Formula is so different. There are so many. There's actually a really great girl that I follow on Instagram called the Formula Mom. If you guys want to check it out, if you're going through a similar experience, or you started out with formula, which is great too. It is 2021 and it is a formula for every baby. I did the formula finder through her and we found his perfect match, and it just so happened to be Gentlease, and it's really helped him a ton, and he's growing and happy and doing really well. I feel really good. I didn't have any problems stopping. I didn't have engorged boobs. Like my body knew, like, sis, you're really milking it. Literally, you're really trying. And like my body was like, felt like it could breathe again a little bit. So we did it. We did it for 6.5 weeks, and I'm super proud of every single day, every single time he ate on me or any amount of milk. I'm really proud of, and I'm proud of him because he was a trooper through it all. He really is such a good boy, such a good baby. I'm healed up and doing a lot better now, and we're just not breastfeeding. And it is kind of hard to say. I don't know why. It's just hard to say because I feel like I know I will have somebody be like, did you try this? Or did you try that? If you would have nursed him more, if you would have done this, if you would have, I nursed my kids 65 years ago and I never had an issue, and I'm really happy for you. I really am. I'm glad that it worked out for you and your babies. But also know there's a lot of us out here who are using formula and our kids are just doing great. They'll all be in the same kindergarten class together inevitably, and I bet we can't pick out of a room which one had a boob and which one didn't, you know? So thank you guys for all of your suggestions and love, and I get a ton of them from Instagram, Facebook, emails, everywhere, and it helped me a lot. I mean, I did a lot of the things that were suggested to me. I did pretty much all of them, to be honest with you. I dumped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars into breastfeeding easily, and it just didn't work out for the long run, but we did it. We did it. You did it, really. But I just wanted to tell you guys I'm not doing it anymore, because even on a grocery haul, they're like, don't drink caffeine, it's gonna keep the baby up. And it's like, I should probably tell people he's not getting his food from me anymore, because that would make more sense. So that's where we're at. I know, a whole video dedicated to me not breastfeeding anymore. The whole point really of this is because there's people who choose not to, and that's okay. That doesn't mean they're not as good of a mom because they're not feeding their baby from their body. I mean, it's truly fed is best. Fed is best. Babies do not care where their milk comes from, not in the slightest, honestly. And they're not gonna, you know, hold some grudge against you that you didn't breastfeed them for their first year of life. They don't care. They care that they have a happy, healthy mom who's taking care of them and feeding them no matter how it's done. And I get a lot of messages on Instagram especially that are like, thank you for talking about being fed is best, because there's people who are ashamed to pull out a bottle in public because they're like, oh. So I hope that if anything, if you had a similar experience or you've been formula feeding from the beginning, or anything like that, I just hope that this encourages you that you're such a good mom. You're such a good mom. You're feeding your baby, you're taking care of them, and they're happy. I mean, we will go to any length to make sure that they sleep and eat and burp and poop and fart and all of those things. I feel like it's consuming. I forgot how consuming it is to have a newborn. It's consuming. And I also have another girl to think about. I have my daughter to think about, and it just didn't work out in the long run, and that's okay. Life is so good, but it's so exhausting right now. And these days are long, but the years are short. All of those fun quotes that you see in the middle of the night when you're like scrolling Instagram. So we're soaking it in. I hope you guys are having a great day, night, wherever you are, and you're doing a great job. You really are. We will see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.